Have you ever, in a sudden moment maybe, when you are standing in the middle of a noisy party, holding a glass of wine, surrounded by laughter and talking, pulsating music? Or maybe when you are sitting in a tense meeting, watching your boss waving his hands, presenting revenue figures? Or simply when you are standing brushing your teeth in front of the mirror at 2 a.m.? Suddenly a chill runs down your spine. A shiver not due to cold, but due to a sudden realization. In that split second, everything around suddenly becomes strange, weird, fake. You look at that shouting boss, and instead of feeling fear or respect, you suddenly see him like a comedian trying to act the role of an important person. You look at the clothes you are wearing, the tie tied around your neck, and wonder, what is this weird fabric? Why am I hanging it on my body? You look at the people around laughing and talking, and you see them like programmed puppets reading lines that someone wrote for them long ago. Hello, how are you? Thank you, I'm fine. How is work lately? Mechanical lines, industrial smiles, repetitive social scripts, and more terrifyingly, you look into the mirror, look at yourself, and you feel the person looking back at you is not you. The name you bear, the job you do, the personal history you are always proud of, all suddenly peel off like old paint. They are just the character you are playing. They are not you. That feeling is called jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Déjà vu is the feeling of familiarity towards the strange, while jamais vu is the feeling of strangeness towards the inherently very familiar. That is the moment you accidentally touch the wall of reality and realize it is made of papier-mâché. That is the moment you see the fishing lines in the puppeteer's hand. And the first reaction of most people to this shiver is fear, a deep existential fear. You are afraid you are going crazy. You are afraid you are being depressed, being detached from reality. You hurriedly shake your head, drink up the wine glass, rush into gossip to chase away that empty feeling. You try to lull yourself back to sleep. You try to believe in the play again. But once you have seen, you cannot unsee anymore. The crack has appeared on the wall. Let me take you deeper into this rabbit hole. Do you know where the word person in English originates from? It comes from Latin persona, and persona in the ancient Roman world did not mean a real human. It meant the mask. The mask that actors wore on stage to amplify the sound of their voice. Per equals through sonus equals sound. So, a person, according to society's definition, is essentially a mask that life wears to communicate with the world. When you say, I am a doctor, I am a mother, I am a loser, I am an introvert, you are describing your mask. You are describing the character in the script, but you have forgotten who is wearing that mask. The tragedy of human life begins with this fatal confusion. We have worn the mask for so long since we were toddlers that the mask layer sticks tight to the flesh. We forgot how to take it off. We believe we are the mask. Remember back when you were a newborn baby, you did not have a persona. You did not have a name. You did not know if you were Vietnamese or American rich or poor, beautiful or ugly. You were just a block of pure energy, a clear observation. You cried when hungry, laughed when happy. You did not need to act. But then your parents, your teachers, this society started giving you the script. You must be good. Boys must not cry. You must study well to be successful. You must get married and have children. They taught you how to walk, how to smile, how to lie socially, how to hide true emotions. They taught you how to become a reliable character in the grand play of society. And you, because of the need for survival, because of the need to be loved, you learned that role very excellently. So excellently that you forgot you were acting. That shiver you felt just now, that is the cry for help of the actor beneath the mask. That is the moment the actor is exhausted and wants to step out into the wings to breathe a bit of real air. Why are we afraid of the thought, life is a play? Why, when I say this, a part inside you feels uncomfortable, wanting to retort, no, my life is real. My pain is real. My bank debt is real. How dare you say it is fake? You are afraid because if admitting this is a play, you feel everything becomes meaningless. If all is just acting, then what meaning does my striving have? What meaning does my love have? Is my suffering just a joke? The ego hates being considered fake. The ego wants to be the center of the universe. It wants its tragedy to be the greatest tragedy. It wants its success to be an eternal monument. Telling the ego that you are just a fictional role is like telling a king that his throne is made of foam. He will behead you. But be calm. Look deeper. Realizing life is a play does not make life lose meaning. On the contrary, it makes life become playable. Have you ever gone to see a horror movie or a tearful tragedy movie? Why do you spend money to buy a ticket into the theater, sit in the dark so that your heart beats fast with fear, or cry your eyes out because the main character dies? Why don't you leave halfway? Why do you enjoy that fear and sadness? Because at some deep level in the mind you know that this is just a movie. I am safe. Precisely that implicit knowing that this is a movie allowed you to enjoy the drama without being destroyed by that drama. If you go see a ghost movie and you completely believe that ghost is real, that it will crawl out of the screen and kill you, you will go crazy. You will run away from the cinema in extreme panic. Life is the same. The reason we suffer extremely, the reason we are depressed, anxious, suicidal, is because we have forgotten we are sitting in the cinema. We think the monster on the screen, debt, heartbreak, illness, death, is the only and final reality. We have lost the safe distance between actor and role. That shiver you feel, that terrifying strangeness, is essentially the light of the projector being exposed. It is reminding you that, hey, don't be too serious. This is a game. This is an experience. You are not the image on the screen. You are the light creating that image. In Hindu philosophy, there is a beautiful concept called Lila divine play. They believe that the ultimate reality, Brahman, or you can call it God, universe, Tao, source energy, is inherently an omnipotence, omniscience. But try to imagine if you were God, you had everything new, everything could do everything. What would you do? You would be bored, extremely bored. Nothing unexpected, nothing to explore, no challenge. So to entertain himself, God created a grand game of hide and seek. God split himself into billions of small pieces. God hypnotized himself to forget who he was. God crawled into finite forms. Humans, cats, trees, rocks. God put on the mask, you. And the rule of the game is you must forget completely you are God. You must believe absolutely that you are Hannah, born in 1990, worrying about rent this month. You must believe you are weak, you are lonely, you will die. Why forget so thoroughly? Because if you knew you were God, then where is the drama? Like you playing poker, knowing all the opponent's cards, or playing a game turning on God mode, the game will lose all suspense. The trembling feeling when betting, the bursting feeling when winning, the painful feeling when failing. All those intense flavors of life can only be felt when you immerse in the role completely. So the shiver you feel when realizing life is a play, that is exactly when God in you is peeking out of the mask. That is when God winks at himself and giggles, "Wow, I acted too deep, almost fooled myself." You are the one playing hide and seek, and you are also the seeker. Look at your life. Look at your troubles. Do you always say you want peace, want happiness, want everything smooth? But be honest. If tomorrow I give you a perfect life, all wishes met immediately, no suffering, no challenge, no risk every day, like every day, how long would you endure before going crazy with boredom? Alan Watts once posed an interesting hypothesis. Suppose tonight you could dream any dream you wanted. The first night you would dream the most wonderful dreams, parties, pleasures, flying boundless power. The second night, 300th, you still dream like that. But then at some point you will say, "Hey, tonight I want a surprise. I want a dream where I don't control the result." And gradually you will add to your dream obstacles, monsters, dangers, just to feel the thrill of overcoming them. And finally, after millions of nights, you will dream exactly the life you are living right now. You see, this troublesome life is not a punishment. It is the choice of your soul, a brave soul wanting to experience limitation, collision, contrast. You chose this role. You chose this stage. Even you chose the villains in your life to help the play add more drama. That shiver is not a sign of madness. It is a sign showing you are starting to remember the reason why you stepped onto this stage in the first place. When first realizing life is a play, many people fall straight down a black hole called nihilism. They think if money is waste paper, fame is illusion, love is chemical reaction, and the ego is fiction, then why must I try? Why must I get up to go to work? Why must I be kind to others? Nothing matters. Death is the end. This is a dangerous state. It turns liberation into depression. It turns freedom into meaninglessness. But listen to me. The truth, life is a play, does not mean life is meaningless. It means life carries the meaning of art, not the meaning of purpose. Think about music. What is the purpose of a symphony? Is it to hit the last note as fast as possible? If the purpose of music is the end, then the best conductor would be the one directing the orchestra to play fastest, and the smartest listener would only hear the last note. No, the purpose of music is playing. The meaning of the piece lies in every note, every silence, every climax while it is happening. You do not dance to get to a certain point on the dance floor. You dance to enjoy the dance. Life is the same. We often live as if the purpose of life is reaching the destination. Success, retirement, going to heaven. But when realizing life is a play, you understand that the purpose of life is exactly the aliveness of this moment. Do not use this truth to justify your laziness or indifference. That is an insult to the grand scriptwriter, which is your own soul. You were given this role not to quit the role, but to act it with a completely new spirit. This is the golden key to living an awakened life. Distinguish clearly between serious and sincere. Unawakened people live very seriously. They are rigid. They are heavy. They believe if they fail, the universe will collapse. They cling to results. When stumbling, they feel humiliated. They are always stressed, anxious, frowning. They carry the burden of the whole world on their shoulders. Awakened people live very sincerely. Sincere means you still play with all your might. You still work hard. You still love deeply. You still cry when sad, laugh when happy. But you are not heavy. Like a professional actor stepping onto the stage playing Hamlet. He will cry for real, scream, for real, suffer for real. The audience will believe he is Hamlet, but deep inside he knows. After the curtain falls, I will go home to have dinner with my wife and children. That knowing allows him to act ecstatically without psychological trauma. He does not bring Hamlet's pain home. When you live sincerely but not seriously, you do business, you still try to make money, but if bankrupt, you laugh it off. Wow, this act is really hard. Replay next round. You do not jump off a bridge. You love. You love with all your heart, but if that person leaves you, are heartbroken because that is the character's emotion, but you do not destroy yourself. You know your soul is still whole. Lightness is exactly the sign of a saint. Angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. Only devils fall because of the weight of seriousness. When you are no longer bound by survival fear, because you know your essence is immortal, you start living like an artist. You no longer ask, is doing this safe? Doing this, will people judge me? Instead, you ask, is doing this interesting? Is doing this beautiful? Does doing this make the play of my life richer? You start daring to take risks. You dare to pursue passion. You dare to dress the way you like. You dare to speak the truth. Why? Because you know this is a game. In a game, if you know you can respawn, or the nature of the game is virtual, you will play more boldly, creatively, heroically. You will not hide in the corner of the map forever for fear of losing blood. Great people in history, those who change the world, are usually people with a bit of madness, a bit of recklessness like that. They play life with a generosity that ordinary people do not dare. They have seen through the play, so they dare to rewrite the script. When realizing life is a play, the way you love also changes completely. Before, you loved because of need. You loved others because they helped reinforce your role. You needed them to play good husband for you to play happy wife. If they changed roles, you collapsed. That is possessive love, love of fear. Now you love because of enjoyment. You look at your partner, children, parents, and you see they are also gods wearing masks. You see them acting their roles clumsily but adorably. You love them like loving a compatible co-star on stage. You cherish their presence in your play, but you do not bind them. If the co-star wants to leave the stage, break up, or pass away, you see them off with deep gratitude for the wonderful performance they brought, not with resentment. Thank you for playing the traitor, so I learned the lesson of forgiveness. Thank you for playing the lover, so I learned the lesson of tenderness. The love of an awakened person is a free love. It does not say, you are mine. It says, thank you for dropping by my game. Let's return to the initial shiver, that cold feeling on the neck when seeing the falseness of the world. If you go deep enough, that shiver will disappear. Instead is a smile. A slight, mysterious smile often seen on Buddha statues or Hindu gods. That is the smile of understanding, the smile of an adult watching children playing doctor nurse. The children are very serious. Some scream because the teddy bear patient is sick. The adult does not mock the children, but laughs because of that lovely innocence. When you look at this chaotic world, politics, war, money, fame, with that smile you have reached the state of equanimity. You no longer need to run away to the mountains to find peace. You can sit right in the market, right in the office, right in the traffic jam, and enjoy the traffic jam play. You observe your own annoyance, like observing a funny scene. Ah, my character is grumpy, acting very well. You become the witness, and the witness is always peaceful, regardless if the movie scene playing is a bombing scene or a love scene. So, my friend, next time when the shiver visits you, when you feel the absurdity of this life, do not be afraid, do not turn away. That is an invitation for you to stop being a puppet and start becoming a co-creator. The play continues. Music is still playing. Stage lights still shine on you. You cannot leave the stage when time is not up. But from this moment, you have the right to decide. Will you act this role like a miserable victim bound by the script, or will you act it like a dancer, enjoying every skillful step of yours? The stage is yours. The mask is yours. But the soul beneath the mask is eternal freedom. Act very well, but never forget, it is just a game. Wish you a brilliant performance.